Biggest takeaway from the conference championship games. I was talking about this with Vish yesterday on Mondays with Vish, and his takeaway was about defense. It was very interesting. The defensive coordinator of the winning team in the AFC, Kansas City, Steve Spagnuolo, how good he is and the value of experience and a coordinator who knows how to beat an offense on 3 critical plays in the game. It's sort of like, you could call it situational football. Not just a scheme guy, but a football coach who knows what it takes to beat a particular team in that particular game, the 3 calls he needs to make and the 3 key plays. That was very interesting. My takeaway has to do with the other conference and the other side of the ball, but it's also about situational football and game management. I was looking at the Green Bay game, the one they lost. I'm looking at their offense. And as good as Steve Spagnuolo was for the Chiefs, that's how bad Matt LaFleur was for the Packers. He lost that game. Not Aaron Rodgers, not the defense, Matt LaFleur. And there were a lot of examples, but the most glaring one was late in the game. Let's see, what was this exact situation? It was Bucks 8-yard line, 4:42 left in the fourth quarter, trailing by 8, 31-23. At this point, Matt LaFleur should have been telling Aaron Rodgers, this is 4-down territory. We're not kicking a field goal here. Because even if we don't get the touchdown, we give the Bucks the ball back inside their 10-yard line. They're going to go 3 and out. We're going to get the ball back with time. You do not punt here. Excuse me. You do not kick a field goal here. 4-down territory. And what's important about that is if you approach that series as we're definitely taking 4 downs here, then you don't have to throw into the end zone every time. You don't have to throw every time, which is what they did. They had 3 end zone passes, balls that went beyond the goal line. All 3 were incomplete. Kick a field goal. They lost. What they should have done, and this is like basic game management stuff, call your best run play in one of those 4 plays. Call one pass where the ball doesn't go past the goal line, a simple dump off to a running back or a tight end. Call one pass to your 6'6" tight end who has like 11 receiving touchdowns on the season. Instead, basically three low percentage throws and you're out and you kick a field goal. That's Matt LaFleur losing the game. And I understand Aaron Rodgers being extremely frustrated and saying, like, how many times am I going to lose in the playoffs because of an incompetent coach? How many times am I going to have to win games in the playoffs despite my head coach? I totally feel him on that. Before the season started, I predicted that the Packers would fire Matt LaFleur by the end of the year. And after he beat the New Orleans Saints, that Twitter freezing cold takes, old takes exposed, retweeted me. And a lot of people laughed at me, all the Packers fans who were really happy with Matt LaFleur. How do you like Matt LaFleur now? Matt LaFleur is going to be the reason that Aaron Rodgers leaves, not Mike McCarthy. Matt LaFleur is going to be the reason that Aaron Rodgers says, I want to leave. I don't want to play here anymore. And you know what? He's right. Matt LaFleur isn't ready. I don't think he's ready to be a head coach. He certainly isn't ready to coach a player like Aaron Rodgers. And here's what I want to say. I want to tie this into the Niners, how the Niners can learn from this and how it applies to them. Basically, it's the same mistakes that Kyle Shanahan makes. It's the same reason he lost Super Bowls. Game management. Now, Kyle Shanahan is a much better coordinator than LaFleur, much more creative, much better play designer. But these guys have both, Kyle Shanahan's ruined Matt Ryan's opportunity to win a Super Bowl. And now Matt LaFleur's ruined Aaron Rodgers' opportunity to win a Super Bowl because these guys are great. What they do is play design. What they don't do well is game management. And what's interesting is play design is important. All these teams want to hire coaches who bring in this system. The Jets wanted it. The Jets hired Saleh, and they're like, make sure you bring in Matt LaFleur's little brother. We want this system. It is the it system in the league, kind of like how the Seattle Seahawks defense was the it system on defense for 10 years. So people want it, and it works. You get a running game. You get a play action game. It makes the quarterback's job easier. The problem is all these glorified offensive coordinators become head coaches because of their system. They get deep into the playoffs, and winning in the playoffs isn't about your system. It's about game management. It's about situational football, really close games, What do I do? 4:42 left in the fourth quarter, down 8-yard line. What do I do? And a guy like Matt LaFleur, it's like, have you ever been in this situation before? Do you know what to do? He looked like he'd never been presented with those, with that situation, that deficit, that time left, that much pressure. He panicked. He had no plan. I don't know. Aaron Rodgers, he could have taken over. Tom Brady would have. So that's what the Niners have to look at, is like the whole league has to look at. System's great, but it only gets you so far. What Kyle Shanahan needs to work on is game management. And how do you work on game management? I've gone on about how, you can't improve decision-making. You're either a good decision maker or you're not by the time you're about 24. That's true. But one way you can improve your game management decisions is the only way to improve that, it would be with experience. The reason Brady's so good at it, well, he's a good decision maker, 1, and 2, experience. He's seen it all. He's been in it all. And Shanahan, he's been around a long time, but what's one way? This is going to sound crazy, but bear with me on this. I honestly believe that Kyle Shanahan should take like an hour out of his day every day this offseason and play Madden. Serious. Play Madden. Look, I haven't played Madden since Madden 04 when Vic was on the cover. I don't have time for that. But I'm not a football coach either. It sounds like it's very realistic these days. And what he needs to be doing is simulating game situations, as many as possible. Simulating game situations. That's the only way he can get better at it. And the problem with being a head coach as opposed to a manager in baseball is you only get 16 games in the regular season. Bruce Bochy, Bob Melvin, they get to do it every day. They get to work on, when do I take out my starter? How do I fill up my lineup card? When do I bring in the lefty? These are decisions they make every day. Kyle Shanahan gets 16 days a year to work on this. Play Madden. And you know what other teams, I know you guys are probably thinking I'm crazy, but I think what teams should really do is they should hire 2 Madden experts. If I were a head coach, I would do this. They're like Madden competitions, right? There are people who make millions of dollars playing Madden. They're like the greatest Madden players in the world, tournaments and stuff. I would hire 2, and every week I would have them simulate the game. I'd have one guy be my team and the other guy be the other team and be like, play each other 50 times. Tell me what worked, tell me what didn't. I would want that information. I think that would be really interesting. The two preeminent Madden players in the world simulating the upcoming game for me all week. What works, what does. I think it would be interesting. It'd be much more informative than PFF. I just think it'd be kind of cool. I don't know. Anyway, how do you simulate game situations? You play PS5. Kyle, put it in order, get the game, and I think it'll improve you. I think it's what you need. What do you think? Is there something here? I mean, I don't play Madden, but you guys probably play a lot of it, and I'm sure you guys are terrific game managers. You guys would have never kicked a field goal down 8 in that situation, would you? I mean, any competent Madden player knows what to do in that situation. Am I wrong? I'm just saying, we're talking simulating game situations. Only better way would be like virtual reality. And I feel like Madden's almost getting there. So Kyle, you owe me a nickel for that one. That's a really good suggestion. Buy Madden, play it a lot. Don't make the mistakes Matt LaFleur made, because you can blame Jimmy Garoppolo for losing the Super Bowl, and he really was bad, but you picked him. And you can't blame Matt Ryan for losing the Super Bowl the first time, because his quarterback rating in that game was 144. Your head coach rating, game management rating was not 144. It was a 39.6. And I just made that up. So Kyle, something to think about. I think Madden, the more you play Madden, the better your chances are of winning a Super Bowl. You owe me a nickel. It's the best advice you're going to get all day.